Hello, welcome to another episode of Matty Makes. I am Crystal, and you hear Sapphire. You want to say hi? Kitty says hi. You don't want to be involved in this though. Nope, it's going to get wet and sticky. All right, there you go, sweetheart. Anyway, Merry Christmas all, or Happy Winter. Whichever way you want to go. Snowflakes are what we're going to work on today. If you crocheted up some snowflakes, I'm going to teach you how to finish them off, stiffen them up, and then we're going to make them 3D by holding them 90 degrees and putting two of them together. So you have a 3D snowflake. Well, let's get started by tying in these tails and getting these ready for soaking. For this, we are going to need a fairly fine wide-eyed needle. It's okay if there is a sharp tip, because that way you can pierce through the thread and definitely lock down that tail. Squish the thread really good to get it through that eye. Use your nails to pull it through. If you have one of those little wire needle threaders, they work really well. It's not all about you, Sapphire. I know you think it is. Okay, working where you can see me here. I did a magic ring to get started. So this is the end of the tail from the magic ring. And we want to work it through a couple more stitches. Yeah, we're going to go up these two stitches. And whatever works. Up those two. The idea is just to lock it down so it's not going anywhere. We are going to stiffen these. So that part doesn't matter, but being a magic ring, you have to go back on itself to get it to lock in really well. So I pulled it through one more. We're going to go over this thread, over one, and then under a few of them, going back the way this tail was coming out. We're just going to go back under a few more of these stitches. Doesn't matter if they're single crochets, double crochets, whatnot. Go back under them. Lock them through really good. Then again, we're going to go over. This will leave a loop. That's why we're working on the back side. And back through a few. And that's never coming out. I put my finger on it so I could lock it tight. This works better for me that way. Then we're going to take these pretty little scissors and we're just going to snip off this end. Right. I know, Kitty, we didn't get all the threads in there. That is problematic. You are right. So now I just have it folded in a U. That'll work better. Maybe I need to get better needles. Your trick, cut at an angle. Cut your thread at a 45-degree angle, it's supposed to thread easier. Works on a sewing machine. Will it work here? Yeah, it works here. Good job. All right. Staying hopefully where you can see me. I'd go over that loop down these two that were in this double crochet. Always take your top thread and find a good base that you can go under. Take these two around that one. And with this one, like I said, we are going to batten down its hatches and stiffen this thing up, which is basically covering it in glue. So I'll go over that. The different ways you can stiffen your snowflakes. And I am doing one of the easier ones today. So I didn't have to spend time over the stove. So the simplest one today, we're just going to use an over-the-counter stiffener. Probably gonna mix it with a little bit of water and let these soak in it. Probably for like 20 minutes, a half an hour, so the cotton can fully absorb. There is an Epsom salt method that you can do. Don't lick things, baby. That's not good. Thank you. Where you dissolve Epsom salts into water over low heats and a lower medium heat, yeah. And you put in as many as will dissolve into that water. So the water is saturated with the salts. Then you soak your cottons, and it's supposed to give it like a crystallized look. You could do the same with sugar. So they look like little frozen snowflakes. Or you can do like a Mod Podge fabric thing, which is basically glue and water, which is kind of what this stuff is going to do. So let's do a couple more. Get those out of here because I'm going to use this little throwaway container to do my soaking. So we're going to get that one, and this one looks the same. We'll get him going. And these are crocheted with number 10 crocheted cotton. Any cotton will work with this because it's going to be absorbent. Just making sure I have that's the front, this is the back. Get this little guy going through the back. So yeah, any cotton will be absorbent to whatever method you choose to use. Then I'll show you how to fixate these guys so they are at a right angle, and you can make your little 3D snowflake. And this will work with pretty much whatever snowflake pattern recipe that you have. I've even done them where I put 3 of them together. Then you want more of a 40, instead of like a 90 degree, you want more of a 45 degree. It is easier with the 90 degree. I'm just going over one and back up. Get out, making sure these will never come apart. This bit will never come out. Clip the correct thread out of the way. The cat is fascinated. She's staring at me. Well, you look fascinated. Are you not? Did I lie? Oh, okay. You're just hanging out by the window. I just happen to be here. Okay. You're right. I should have left the end a little longer. So don't be stingy when you do your magic rings. Cotton thread's pretty cheap. If you are on a budget and you do want to do, get into crocheting or whatnot, check out your local thrift stores. It is amazing how much stuff they have and how cheap they are. Now, be wary when you go into Goodwill. Their prices have jumped up recently. And you used to be able to get a huge bag of crochet yarn of various types for like $5, and now they want 7 or 8 or 10, and sometimes it's not worth the yarn that's in there, because you look at the bag and it's just like, well, it's 2 or 3 things of like Red Heart Super Saver. Well, you can go to Walmart and get that whole bag for what, you know, new, for what Goodwill's charging you. So do be wary. Kitty, no, not good for you. Not healthy for kitties. Keep that up. I will be putting you somewhere where you're safe. Yeah, I know. Why don't you sit back down away from the bottle? Thank you. Now I'm just gonna, well, this end is so short, I'm gonna run the needle through and then try to thread it, going back on itself so it locks the magic ring in. I'm out of frame, I'm so sorry. Trying to be where you can see me. Okay, back through. And there it goes, that should lock it in. All right, I got 2 ready to go. Let's get our mixture ready to go. Okay. Really, Kitty? Make sure your container is free of cat hair. Hold on a sec. I'm going to get something to wipe this up. All right, well, I got something to wipe it up. It's just a damp paper towel, because I'd hate to get these snowflakes finished and have cat hair on them, just because Miss Sapphire was way too curious. All right, so container. Oh, well, there's more snowflakes. I'll work on those off camera. But here's the 2 we're gonna work on right now. Way too much kitty hair. Oh my goodness. It's winter. You wouldn't think the cat would be shedding. Okay. Anywho, over the counter liquid starch. Wee bit of water to loosen it up. Hold on a sec. Alrighty. Wooden chopsticks. Don't get splinters with them. Man, that can happen. Okay, so we're just gonna all this together. Take their cute little guys. It doesn't take too much. You really don't need an excessive amount. What's in here will do all the snowflakes I have, which is what, 2, 6, 8, okay, 7. A couple of them I'm just gonna leave open. But we'll put these 2 little guys, oops, you're blowing bubbles, over here. Hey Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
All right, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, so this is a wooden block that I wrapped with saran wrap several times in both directions and just folded the edges like a Christmas present and taped the one outer side. They're pretty. Yeah, they're still pretty wet. I'm just gonna push on them the side of the chopsticks and hopefully get some of this moisture out of them. There we go. There we go. Got a few drops of that out. Perfect. Okay. Make sure you can see that front edge. Oh, beautiful. I can't see it, but you can. All right, now those are quite sodden. Remember our damp paper towel from before? I'm just gonna do a little bit of blotting. I've done it where I didn't blot up the extra liquid and it just works like a line of glue that you put on a surface you could peel it from. It's like when you're a little kid and you put glue on your fingers and you peeled it off. Yeah, that's kind of what it does. And we don't want that. Okay, these little chain stitches on the end. I'm just flaying them out the best I can. And you're gonna decide how do you want to fold your snowflake because we're going right over the edge. I'm folding mine like this. You're gonna have some pins. Even the pins that come off men's clothing work pretty good. There's a dark little thread there. Get rid of that. It's definitely beneficial to have something to wipe your fingers on. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out and pin here. Pull out, pin here. Come on, baby. I'm pulling in at an angle. So I get between the layers of the saran wrap and not so much into, sorry about the shaking, the board. So there's that. You can pin each and every one of these little picot guys to lay them the way you want. Because this is the blocking of your work. I'm rotating the block. Yep, that looks like it's gonna fall, it's okay. Pulling straight down on this one. Hope you can see that. I'm kind of see what I'm doing. Pulling down and pushing that in to hold it. Pulling out, pushing in. And these are stainless steel. They'll come right out. You can pull them out before the work is completely dry too if you wanted, as long as it's dry enough to hold its shape. There we go. Let's get the other one, which I squished all over my packing paper. That's okay. I'm working on butcher's paper. So it's plastic on the other side so it won't damage my work surface. Turn that around. Grab those little pins. Any short pin will do. Thumbtacks maybe not so much. Yeah, we're crafters, we're makers, we can figure stuff out. Even if you don't have the exact things needed for a project, use what you have. at home, what you have available. If you don't have size 10 crocheted cotton and you have good eyes, go for sewing thread. I've crocheted quite a few things out of sewing thread. The hand quilting thread is waxed and a little thicker and works really nice. I'll show you some things later on that. I'm working some things up. Push that in. If you had a foam block, that would probably work too. And ones that had good edges. Those heavy foam ones that come in packaging. Pin fell. That one's fuzzy. All right, stretch it out as much as you want. I'm gonna re-stretch this side over here. I am getting out of your viewpoint. My apologies. Let's stretch this guy out a little bit further up here. Mark your pins in different angles to get them to hold what you want them to hold. Yeah. These little guys go all over the place. They're so cute. Kind of want them to go all over the place. If you want them exactly in a position, put them exactly in that position. There's no rule saying that you can't use as many pins as you want. The more pins you use, the more pins you're gonna have to take out. That's it. That's stretched apart a little bit. You can actually see the different stitches. That is actually one problem of over starching it, not getting some of that extra starch out. You'll wind up not being able to see your individual stitches because they'll be held together by the whatever starching agent you're using. Oh, come on, you. Just flaying that out and get a good point to get a needle in. There we go. Maybe stick it a little bit into the wood, that's fine. Now there you go. I'm gonna pin up the rest of these. Should only take a couple hours to dry. Once they're dry, I can show you how we put them together. Hello. It has been a few hours and these are all dry. So we're just gonna unpin them. I don't know if you can see the mold. Yeah, we're just gonna unpin them. It might be better if you leave them sit overnight. I just put a fan on them. It worked pretty good. You want to pull out all the pins. And save 2 of them. Okay, you see they're pretty hard. Probably could have tried a little bit more, but they're pretty hard. Pretty cute. How we get this to be a snowflake that is 3D, well, we use glue. A little bit of, this is craft glue, fabric glue. You can use hot glue. It will dry clear, so I just fold them in half a little bit more. Press them together. Now you can sit here and hold them all day, or you can put them back on the form. You see the one behind, I did that too. Back on the form, and use those little pins and pin the joint where you're putting these together. So put the bottom one flat, then you'll fold the top one above it. Keep in mind, mine have not dried all night. They need to. Even harder tomorrow. Pin those down. It's back on its thing. That one's back out. And let it dry just like that. See, like this other one over here. And you're good to go. If you just had them flat, easier way to go. All you need to do is unpin them. And run a little hook through it and hang it on your tree. And you can have a wonderful snowy Christmas. See y'all later in the next Maddie Makes. Like, subscribe, share. That's how I can keep this station going. Thanks all. Bye.